get with it. All right, let's clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. All right, let's get it started. Let's make sure we got some good sound. Yeah, we got good sound. All right. Tonight is the Brotherhood class. You understand? Tuesday night Brotherhood class, you know? And like we always say, brotherhood is synonymous with sisterhood. Tonight, we're going to get what we don't really talk about a lot. We're going to delve into our sisters tonight. We're going to get into the brothers too, but we're going to mostly try to focus on our sisters tonight, because a lot of times we not leave our sisters out, but we don't mention them a lot. So tonight we're going to talk about the women. We're going to get into the women a little bit, you know. And one of the things that we're going to get into is how all across this wicked country, a lot of our sisters are coming up missing. You understand what I'm saying? And we don't, every time we turn around and a white woman comes up missing, one of our oppressors' women come up missing, that makes the front page, it makes headline news. I mean, they talk about it for weeks and weeks and weeks, and our sisters are coming up missing and nobody's talking about it. I believe in 2021, we had over almost 100,000 black women and girls come up missing. You understand? And these things never hit the news, never hit the front page. Most of the time, you're lucky if you see them on a milk carton. You understand what I'm saying? So tonight we want to get into that. We want to focus on our own people. You understand? And the reason why they don't focus on us, because we don't focus on us. We need to focus on our own people. That's the problem with the 12 tribes today. You understand? We focus more on our oppressor than we do ourselves. You understand? The Most High tells us in Zephaniah 2:1, gather yourselves together, yea, gather yourselves together, O nation I desire. He tells us to come together because we are supposed to be working with each other. You understand? We're supposed to work together. You understand? And we also have to understand that we are a nation of people that are not desired. We are in a land that is not our own. You understand? And we have to understand that this land here, this is not our rest. You understand? We can't get comfortable in North, South, or Central America. We can't get comfortable in our oppressor's land. You understand? This is not our rest. So, with that, I want to say we're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. We've been bringing this truth since 1969. And what is that truth? That truth is the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives are the true Jews of the Bible, and the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. We are not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group, Christian organization, or Muslim mosque. We stand alone. And if it is not of the Isupk, it is not the truth. You understand? So, that we're going to get into our sisters. You understand? We got to focus, first off, our brothers. We got to stand up, and we got to be the heads of these families. I remember when Commanding General Yohana said, we don't need a black man in a White House. We need a black man in every black house. You understand? And that is wholeheartedly the truth. You understand? He spoke the truth when he said that. We got to stand up because a black man is the protector of his household. You understand? And last year we had close to 100,000 black sisters, women, and girls come up missing. And none of these things really ever hit the news, never get front page or never make front page or anything. You understand? So we got to take the initiative to stand up and gather ourselves together, meaning we got to come together and we got to protect our own. We got to look out for our own people. You understand? Because nobody's going to do it for us. You understand? Do you expect your oppressor, our oppressor, to look out for us? Our oppressor to give us all of the things that we need, or to help us through difficult times when our people are in need? Our oppressor is not here for that. Our oppressor is here to drain us dry of everything that we have, mind, body, and soul. You understand? We have to understand that we are under the rulership of our enemy. A lot of our brothers and sisters, and especially our sisters, don't understand that the rulership that we are under our enemy. And a lot of them think that because we're not at a all-out war, we are not at a, how can I say, a war like you see on TV in third world countries where people are just warring back and forth in the streets, shooting guns, and you understand, they don't think that we are in a war because you can go outside and you can go to the store and you can go do what you want to do, or so you think. You understand? We feel like we're not at war, but we have to understand that we are at war. We are at war with our enemy. You understand? And we are at war with our enemy because we do not follow the laws, statutes, and commandments. We do not follow the laws that the Most High gave us. If we had followed the laws that the Most High gave us, we would understand the situation that we were in. And if we understood the situation that we were in, we would come back to these laws to change the situation that we're in. And with that, I want to grab the first scripture I want to grab, and I got it right here in my Bible. I want to go to Ezekiel, chapter 35, verse 5. You understand? I want to go to Ezekiel, chapter 35, verse 5. You understand? No, first, hold that. We're going to go to Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 10. First, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 10. Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 10. It says, never trust thine enemy. And that's the biggest problem with us as the 12 tribes of Israel. We are too trusting of a people. We trust our enemy so much so that we don't even trust our own people. We don't even trust our own family. You understand? How do you trust an enemy before you trust your own people. You understand? When you see any other nation on the face of this planet, no other nation trusts in an enemy more than they do their own people. When you look at these other nations come together when adversity hits. When adversity hits, these other nations come together and they look out for one another. But us, as the 12 tribes of Israel, you understand, we trust in our enemy. We trust in the oppressor. We trust in the heathen nations to get us through before we trust in our own people. The scripture says, never trust thine enemy. And we have a trusting problem. You understand? We have a trusting problem. We can hear the truth from anybody in our nation. We can hear the truth, but we won't believe it. We don't believe anything unless it comes from a heathen or it comes from our oppressor. We don't believe anything unless it comes from somebody from another nation. But when you hear from our own people, it's unbelievable. We don't want to hear it. You understand? This is the reason why we believe today, a lot of us that are in Christianity believe today that Jesus Christ was white. This is the reason why we believe that the apostles were white. We believe that everybody in the Bible was white. You understand? We believe that, we were allowed to come in. You understand? And participate in the Most High, in Christ coming to save us. We believe that these laws, statutes, and commandments were only for the so-called Jewish man. You understand? We believe that Mary had a baby without having sex with a man, without having sex with Joseph. You understand? And this is because we believe these things because we believe in Christianity. We believe in our oppressor. We listen to everything that our oppressor tells us, and we fall to our oppressor. The scripture says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Listen, just as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Listen, eventually his wickedness is going to show through, just like the properties of iron. A lot of times when you shave iron down and you polish it up, when you let iron sit long enough, it begins to show its true properties. You begin to see those rust spots start to pop up on it because this is the true properties of iron. You understand? And so is iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Eventually, his wickedness will show through. But the problem with that is by the time his wickedness shows through, it's too late. We're already destroyed. You understand? The scriptures say, never trust thine enemy. And that's the problem with the 12 tribes of Israel. We are too trusting of a people, and we never trust in our own. We never trust in our brothers and sisters. You understand? When you come up into this Isupk Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, you can understand and you can see trust. You understand? You can see that you can hang your hat on this truth right here. This is the only truth. You understand? And you can't get this in Christianity. You can't get this in a Muslim mosque. You can't get this in any other Hebrew Israelite group. You understand? Never trust thine enemy. That's our problem. Too trusting of a people. You understand? Let's go down. All right? Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed. Beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass. And thou shalt know that his rusteth have not been altogether wiped away. Listen, there is nothing you can do to wipe away the hatred, the evil, you understand, the murderous lust that this beast has. You understand? A lot of times we think, well, if we keep asking and we keep begging, you understand, eventually our oppressor is going to give way. Eventually he's going to love us the way we love him. That is the furthest thing from the truth. You understand? We got to understand that these are not a trustworthy people. You understand? These people are definitely not trustworthy. I mean, just like we was talking about earlier, look at it. Look at the way, you understand, Gabby Petito, you understand? Our oppressor's woman, you understand? She comes up dead, she comes up missing first, and they do everything they can do to find her and find out where she was and what happened and everything like that. You understand? Because they love their people. They trust in their people. You understand? But when our people come up missing, when our sisters come up missing, we had to find out second, third, and fourth hand. You understand? We can't trust in our oppressor to do for us. We can't trust in our oppressor to look out and help us. You understand? We got to do for our own. We got to do for ourselves. We got to work with our own people. You understand? These are a disgusting people. You understand? And we got to do for our own. You understand? That's the only way it's going to help. That's the only way it's going to work. You understand? That's the only way it's going to work. You understand? I want to get into an article too. Now let's pull up this article. How to get there. There we go. Now let's get into this article. And we always wondering, why can't we get justice? We can't get justice because we trusting in the wrong people to get justice from. Let's go to here. It says a new documentary highlight plights of missing black women and why their cases go ignored. It says here, a third of almost 300,000 U.S. girls and women reported missing in 2020 were black. A third of them, almost 100,000. That's according to the National Crime Information Center. Yet those cases are often marginalized or ignored by law enforcement and the national media. Why is it ignored by the law enforcement or national media? Because they are the 12 tribes of Israel. They have no love for us. You understand? And the thing is when a Gabby Petito or one of these white oppressive white women get murdered or killed or something happens to them, we are the first ones out in the street speaking up, protesting and marching for them. You understand? Nobody cares about us, so we have to care about our own. It says, yet those cases are often marginalized or ignored by law enforcement and national media. That's what they do. Why would you look for a people, or why would you put the focus on a people that you have a perpetual hatred for? You understand what I'm saying? Why would you go out of your way to help a people that you can't stand, a people that you already want destroyed anyway? You understand what I'm saying? It says now, a 4-part documentary series on HBO follows the lives of 2 women working to bring awareness to these cases. Amanda Nawaz has the story. Anyway, the new series tells of the story of Natalie and Derica Wilson, co-founders of the Black and Missing Foundation. We have to have a Black and Missing Foundation. We have to bring awareness that our women, our sisters, are coming up missing. What's going on with you, big bro? Hey, look, I put the foot on the pedal. You feel me? I got everything set up, so you can go ahead. You got your Bible? Okay, cool. I'm just going over this article right now about missing black women. You know what I mean? And what I was saying was, last year in 2021, we had over 100,000 black women and girls come up missing. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Had over 100,000 of them missing, and whenever you have an oppressor's woman come up missing, they make front page. You understand? They front page of the news on CNN. They go on all the networks. You understand? Remember Gabby Petito? Remember her boyfriend killed her, right? They went weeks and weeks and weeks. Remember he dropped in a ravine? He killed himself too. You know what I mean? That's how the oppressor does. You know, he can't handle pressure, so he had to check himself out. But anyway, they put this was all on the news, on all the news stations. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And when our women and sisters come up missing, we rarely hear about it. You understand what I'm saying? And like I said, it wasn't that many oppressors, women come up missing. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But we had over 100,000 come up missing, and we get no fanfare. You know what I mean? So we got to look out for our own people. You understand? I'm reading this article, and it says, talking about a new series started by two sisters, Natalie and Derica Wilson, co-founders of the Black and Missing Foundation. We got to start a foundation for the Black and Missing. You know what I mean? The sisters-in-law rally communities and help families as they search for their missing loved ones. And you got to be a detective. You got to do the work that you pay all your taxes with. You pay these law enforcement to do just this. But when your people come up missing, that you got to do their job. They need to pay these people. You know what I mean?
Right.
Here is a clip featuring Derica Wilson. I'm not going to read all that, but all I wanted to say was, we got to make foundations for our own people and for people to make people aware of our people coming up missing. You understand?
Right.
Now check this out. I was checking out the news the other night, and I'm going to get into that article too, right? And we dropped that. The sister on social network hooked up with a dude off a social network, right? Sister hooked up with a dude off a social network in Connecticut.
Right.
There was a sister hooked up with an oppressor.
Right.
You understand? And she came up murdered. Right? Came up murdered, and the police knew that the last person to see her was this oppressor, but they ruled him out. You understand? If that had been a white woman dating a black guy and he was the last one seen her, they would have arrested him, or they would have been detaining him as a suspect. You understand what I'm saying? But because it's us, and this is the reason why the Most High tells us not to make marriages with them.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? This is the reason why he tells us to separate from them. Because we can never get justice from a people that hate us. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Now I want to read this article right here. This article, and as a matter of fact, it was two sisters. They came up missing on the same day, right? 2 police officers suspended over handling of black women's deaths, right? The mayor said the officers had shown a lack of sensitivity in dealing with the cases of Lauren Smithfields and Brenda Lee Rawls, who died in Bridgeport, Connecticut on the same day. You know what I mean? It says they heard from a neighbor, their sister, listen, hold up, let me go back. Lauren Smithfields, 23 years old, and Brenda Lee Rawls, 53, both died December the 12th in Bridgeport, Connecticut. The families of the women have said that they did not learn of their deaths from the police and struggled to get details from the department. They heard from a neighbor that their sister Brenda Lee Rawls had died, but they couldn't find her body. And this is the oldest sister, the one that's 53, right? They went back to Mrs. Rawls' home in Bridgeport, Connecticut. They called the police department, they called area hospitals, they called local funeral homes. They finally found her body at the medical examiner's office on December the 14th, 2 days later. They already cutting her open, cutting her up and all that. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I mean? On December, 2 days after she was pronounced dead. Listen, they pronounced her dead and everything, all that. You know what I mean? We had to do our own investigation, said Dorothy Washington, Mrs. Rawls' sister. The police never notified us of her death. And think about it, right? They called and asked the police. Again, right? I want to go to, grab Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 5 for me, if you can, Bible shop. Sure. They said they called the police. Police don't know nothing. You understand what I'm saying? They heard from a neighbor that she died. Called the police. Police don't know nothing. Called the coroner's, examiner's office, everybody, everywhere. Funeral homes, all of that. Nobody don't know nothing. You feel me? And I mean, and we continually trust in these people. Right. I was speaking earlier, I said the scriptures tell us trust not, never trust thine enemy. You understand? And that's the problem with us as the 12 tribes of Israel. We are too trusting of a people. Right. You understand? We trust in our enemies to give us what we need to survive, or we trust in our enemies to help us get through the hard times and the hardship, when they the ones that placing the hard times and hardships on us. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Right. You got that scripture? Correct. Let's read that.
Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred.
Say that again.
Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred.
It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. What does that mean, perpetual? What does that perpetual mean? Perpetual hatred, what is that?
Never ending.
That's a never-ending hatred, exactly. Right. That's an ongoing, a forever hatred. You understand what I'm saying? And this is how these people feel about us. Right. You understand? As much as, and this is where we get fooled at, as much as they smile in your face, most of the time when they smiling in your face is because they want money from you. They're going to treat you nice when they want you to buy something, or if they want you to pay for something. You understand what I'm saying? Right. But these people have an ongoing, a perpetual hatred for us. You understand? An unquenchable thirst. You understand? Right. These people have never had love for us. And that's another place where we get fooled at, right? And I asked this question the other day, right? Let me ask a question. Which of our oppressors, why do we have some of our oppressors? How did I ask that question? How did I ask it? Why do some of our, why do we, how did I say that? Mm-hmm. Why do we, which of our oppressors like us? Tell me that. Which of our oppressors like us?
Like us? Yeah. Like which one out of all of them that like us?
I'm saying, all right, we're talking about the oppressor now, right?
Okay. Which one?
You have levels of oppressor. You have one oppressor here and oppressor there. They even this hand or that hand, right?
Right.
The oppressors that like us, why do they like us?
Because we the flavor of the earth.
No. They like the things that they can get from us.
Right.
Right? They like the things that they can get from us.
Right.
But you have an oppressor that out and out hates you and shows you that. Then you have an oppressor that makes it look like he likes you, but really he doesn't. That oppressor that makes you think he likes you, why do you think he tries to make you think he likes you?
So we can get whatever we can from him.
That too, right? What it is we get fooled when an oppressor says we like you, just like a Joe Biden, right? Sure. But as you can see, Joe Biden, all right, the oppressors that make us think we like them, or they like us, or they say that they like us, these are the oppressors that have no power. You understand what I'm saying? We get fooled because a white person we work with say they like black people. I like black people. I'm not prejudiced, but those are the oppressors that have no power, right? Those are the oppressors that cannot change the situation that we in. Those are the oppressors that cannot give us equality. Those are the oppressors that cannot even the board with us. You understand what I'm saying? The oppressors that hate us are the ones that hold the power. The ones that don't hold back from saying what they say are the ones that hold the power. Think about Donald Trump. Think about the Republican Party. Think about all of those people that say that really always show us how they feel about us. You understand? And we get fooled as a people because the little white lady at our job says, "Oh, I like black people." See, I told you white people like us. I told you. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But those are not the people that can change the situation that we live in. When in fact, if she wasn't in the situation that she was in, and she was in a higher position, she would not like us either. You understand?
Right.
They only act like they like you by default. You understand? They only act like they like because they got to be around us. But when they not around us, why do we always hear those videos when they not around and then they always say what they really feel? You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Remember when we seen the video of the teenage oppressive girls. They was in their house, right? And they said, black people can be our slaves and all they can do for us is be our slaves. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when they go out and they go to school, they make it seem like, oh, I like black people too.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? Because in their heart, they have a perpetual hatred for us. You understand?
Right.
They have an unquenchable thirst. Go ahead, finish reading that. I'm going on and on and on. Did we finish that or?
No.
Go ahead.
You want me to start it over?
Go ahead, yeah, start that over.
Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel.
And it says, and has shed the blood of the children of Israel. We see that every day, right? And just like we said, these women coming up missing, these women coming up dead. You understand? They have shed the blood of the children of Israel. Today we're going to focus a little bit more on the women.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And that's what it's about today. You understand? This is brotherhood. When we talk about brotherhood, brotherhood is synonymous with sisterhood.
Right.
Today we just going to focus a little bit on the sisters, you know. And it says to shed the blood of the children of Israel. They shedding the blood of our sisters all in the streets. You understand? Like he said, he got over 100,000 sisters come up missing last year in 2021 just alone. You understand what I'm saying? It's not, think about it, right? It's probably about, 40 to 44 million of us here. You know, just a little that's a handful.
Right.
And when you pop up and have 100,000 sisters missing, you understand, come up 100,000 missing, in 10 years, that's 1 million sisters.
Right.
Something like that, right? About 1 million sisters, right? I mean, think about it. We down to 43 million. You know, think about that over decades and decades and decades. You understand? Even though we multiply, you understand what I'm saying? But they kill in the womb. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now this young sister, 23 years old, went out with a caveman.
Right.
You understand? She went out with a caveman. The cave, just by the evidence.
Right.
You understand? Let's do this. I want to go and read this.
Did show that?
They ruled out everybody. They didn't rule out anybody but him. You know what I mean?
Right.
And this department was on the case of both of these sisters. You understand what I'm saying? And the last person to see this young sister, 23 years old, was this caveman that she met on the website. You understand? If you could see him, you'd be like, yo, how did she, but,
My shit.
right. You say the same thing every time our black sisters hook up with a caveman, you know what I mean?
Right.
We always asking like, yo, what did you understand? And this is another thing. This is where we at too, right? We get caught up in the customs and cultures of America. We get caught up in Christianity. We just one big melting pot. You understand? We got to go hand in hand. We gotta join them. We can't be and you know what? We the only people that say that. Think about it, right? We got to come together. Never hear the Chinese people say that we got to come together. Never hear the Arabs say that we got to come together. We never hear the East Indians say that we got to come together. Every nation separates themselves from every other nation except for us. We always trying to blend in. We always trying to fit in. We always trying to be amongst everybody.
Right.
You understand? And that's where Christianity has totally destroyed us. You understand? Because our oppressor has gotten into our mind and made us think that we have to join. We have to join. We have to join. Brothers and sisters are always joining something. We always joining something but the right thing.
Right.
If you want to join anything, you need to join this Isupk Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge.
Right.
Come up here and get some of this truth. You understand what I'm saying? That's the problem with us right there. We gotta get the truth.
Right.
You understand? We think the knowledge of the world is gonna get us ahead. You understand? At 23 years old, she just getting off the step and she's gone.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? 23 years old. Fine sister too. You know what I mean? Where's she at now? Laying up on a slab. Why?
Right.
Because she wanted to mess with a caveman. You know what I mean? And I hate to say it like that, but that's how sometimes it gotta be said. You understand what I'm saying? We are destroyed people, you know, for lack of knowledge. What is the knowledge? The knowledge is these laws, statutes, and commandments. We got to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. We got to come back to true understanding. You understand? True understanding is right here in the scriptures. The scriptures tell us how to deal with our oppressor, how to deal with the heathen nations, how to deal with our own people. You understand? And that's the real issue right there, is dealing with our own people. We got to come back and learn how to deal with our own people, so much so that we don't have to deal with the other nation. Everything that we need is right here in our own nation.
Right.
You understand? Everything we need. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by what? By the force of the sword. You understand? We get murdered every day in these streets. Think about it, 100,000 women in a year. That's just the women, right? We ain't talking about the men. You understand what I'm saying? 100,000 women in a year. How many is, that's a lot per day.
Yes.
You understand? That's a lot per day.
Yeah.
And we got to come to some kind of understanding that these people are not here to befriend us.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? These people are not here to befriend us. Go ahead. By the force
of the sword, in the time of his calamity. The force of the sword, in the time of their calamity.
In the time of their calamity. Listen, when all hell is breaking loose, we get murdered. All hell is already breaking loose, and then we got to get murdered by our oppressor in these streets. We got to get lynched. I mean, every time a sister, it seems like every time a sister gets arrested, a sister ends up getting murdered or ends up getting tortured. You understand? I was just watching CNN the other day. They showed the whole clip of those police officers pulling that 68-year-old woman over, grabbing her by the hair. I mean, they grabbed her by her hair like she was a full-out man. Pulled her, twisted her arm up behind her back, tore her rotator cuff, everything.
Right.
This woman was on the side, hurt. This is a 68-year-old woman. And they beat her like she was a young dude. You understand? Face in the ground and everything. You understand? Knee on her back, all of that. Driving her arm up behind her. You remember that happened last year? You remember that? Yeah, man. Well, this The other day they just showed the body camera footage. They only showed, last year they only showed little bits and pieces. You didn't really get to see, but they showed it the other day. It was horrible. You understand? And when you see something like that, think about like if that's your grandmother,
Right.
that's your mother. You understand? They showed the stitches in her arm, where she had staples in her arm, her shoulder, where they tore her rotator cuff, messed her up real bad. You understand what I'm saying? And I can imagine nothing happened to these police officers. You understand? This is the reason why the scriptures say this is not our rest.
Right.
You understand? This is hell we living in. This is a total hell we living in. You understand? It says in the time of their calamity, when all hell is already breaking loose, then we got to turn around and get abused by our oppressor. You already got the bills coming in on you. You understand? You already got eviction notices on the door. Your gas and electric is off, and now you go out into the street and get hammered by the police. You understand? You get beat up by the oppressor. You understand? I mean, in the time of our calamity. You understand? Go ahead.
In the time of their iniquity had an end.
It says in the time that their iniquity had an end. Right when you decide, I'm going straight. I'm done with all this life. I'm going straight. I'm going to get my life together. As soon as you get your life together, you finish your iniquity. You finish being on the opposite side of the Most High. And you get your life together, and here we go again. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
We are a destroyed people. If you can't see that these are our enemy, you got to be blind, crippled, and crazy. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
If you can't see what we going through, the hell that we going through in this world. And when I say world, I mean age of society. When you see what we going through, and you can't understand that we are under the thumb and the duress of our oppressor, you gotta be blind. You understand?
Right.
Gotta be blind. You understand?
Right.
We gotta come up out of this, man. The scriptures say, like I said, never trust thine enemy. That's the problem with us. We're too trusting other people. You know?
Right.
And I mean, listen, sisters come up missing every day. Brothers come up missing every day. But when you get to the 100,000s, you understand? Think about that. You got to the 100,000, then you throw abortion in on top of that, 350,000 babies a year. Then you throw 100,000 sisters and girls on top of that, 450,000.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? 500,000, close to 500,000. We are destroyed.
Right.
You understand? They are systematically trying to wipe us out. You understand? And thanks to Martin Luther King, you understand? Thanks to integration, you understand? Because think about this, right? In the 1920s, 30s, and 40s into the 50s, we didn't have this problem. I'm not saying that black women didn't die. I'm not saying that black women didn't come up missing. But now that 100,000 a clip every year, you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And why was that? Why wasn't the numbers like this in the 1920s, 30s, 40s, and the 50s? Why was the numbers like that? The numbers weren't like that because we were forced to rely on our own people. You understand? We was forced to live amongst our own. We was forced to do work amongst our own. We was forced to rely on our own people because they didn't want us around. You understand what I'm saying? They alienated us, which that was a good thing for us, separating ourselves. You understand what I'm saying? That's how you had Black Wall Street. That's how you had Seneca Village. That's how you had all of those different black cities and towns all across America. Because we separated ourselves. We had to rely on ourselves. We had to build up our own cities. We had to do commerce amongst ourselves. You understand? We had to do commerce amongst each other. We had to sell and buy amongst each other. The scripture says in those days, you won't be able to sell or buy, right? Look at us today. We don't sell or buy. What does that mean when it says we won't be able to sell or buy? That means that we won't be included in that world commerce. Not that you can't go to the store and buy soda or something, you know what I mean?
Right.
But the world economy is built off of commerce, right? It's you do business over here and you sell to this nation, they sell to that nation, they sell to this nation, they sell to that nation. They do commerce, you understand? They do business amongst each other, you understand? We are nothing but consumers. You understand what is a consumer? A consumer is a person who takes in, who eats, but doesn't give. You understand?
Right.
They sell to us. You understand? They take our money, but we don't sell to them. You understand? We not on that nationwide commerce list. We don't do business with other nations. All we do is consume. I remember a CNN report said a couple of years ago, 70% of America's economy is built on the consumer. Who is the consumer? Consumer is the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives.
Right.
You understand? In order to protect our sisters, our women, our girls, we have to do business amongst our own.
Right.
We have to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. We got to follow the Most High's direction. You understand? Most of us are going in the opposite direction of the Most High. And this is the reason why our sisters are being destroyed like they are. You understand? It says, train up a child. What does that script? What does that say? Train up a child in what? God, let me grab that scripture. Let me grab that. What is that? What is that? Train up a child. Let's see. Let's go to I thought I had that right here. Okay, let's go to Proverbs 22 and 6. Can you grab that?
Mm-hmm.
Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6.
Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go.
It says train up a child in the way he should go. What does it mean, train up a child in the way he should go? To train up a child in the way he should go, there's only one way to train up a child, right? In the law, statutes, and commandments. Train them up in this Bible. Train them up to let them know what the Most High expects of them. You understand? It says train up a child in the way he should go. Go ahead.
And when he is old, he will not depart from it.
It says train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. You train up a child from their youth, and when they are old, they will not depart from it. They will remember those ways. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Not to eat shrimp, crab, and lobster. Not to eat pork. You understand? Not to marry somebody outside of their race. You understand? When I say outside of their race, I mean he married somebody inside the 12 tribes of Israel. We got enough flavors inside of here, you know,
Right.
that you don't need no Chinese food or no Japanese food. You know what I mean?
Right.
Especially that oppressor food. You know, we got everything we need right here inside. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. You understand? We got to teach our sisters. We got to teach our mothers. You understand? We got to teach our women. You understand? To stay inside. You understand? Watch out. Never trust thine enemy. And that's another problem with our sisters too. They too
Right.
trusting. You understand? And our brothers are too trusting too when they get caught up in Christianity. And that's all a part of Christianity. You know what I mean? What you looking for? Oh. You know, we gotta train up our children. You understand? We gotta train up our sisters. You understand? Because we are the teachers, right?
Yes, sir.
We gotta teach them. I ain't saying we gotta teach them ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, you know what I mean? But when it comes to these laws, statutes, and commandments, we the prophets.
Right.
You understand? We the ones chosen by the Most High to spread this word, you know, teach these scriptures, you know what I mean? You got your Apocrypha?
Sure.
Let's go to First Esdras. We'll go to First Esdras chapter 8, verse 85. First Esdras chapter 8, verse 85.
First Esdras, chapter 8, verse 85. Moreover, ye shall never seek to have peace with them.
Say that again.
Moreover, ye shall never seek to have peace with
It
them.
says, moreover, ye shall never seek to have peace with them. We was talking about that earlier, and that's what our people look for all the time in our oppressor. We look for peace.
Right.
You understand? We want to seek to have peace.
Right.
We want to make covenants with them. We want to make agreements with them. What happened to the native Indians when they made those agreements? When they sought to have peace, they destroyed the native Indians. You understand?
Sure.
Our Hispanic brothers on the Mexican border seek to have peace with them. They came over and took our brothers' land. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
We should never seek to have peace with them. They brought us over here as slaves, beat our backs for over 400 years, and we still seeking to have peace with them. They kill and murder us on the streets every day, and we seek to have peace with them. You understand? We are a destroyed people because of a lack of knowledge. You understand? We got to get back into these laws, statutes, and commandments. This book was written for our benefit. This book was written for us, for our learning. You know what I mean?
Right.
Go ahead.
That ye may be strong and eat the good things of the land.
It says that ye may be strong and eat the good things of the land. Listen, we get the butt ends of everything. We get the worst food, the worst living conditions, the worst jobs. We get the worst at everything.
Right.
Turns out we get the worst foods and we come up with the worst diseases from eating all those bad foods. We get the worst houses, get the worst housing conditions, and come up with all the worst ailments because of those houses. In the middle, lead paint, rats, mice, everything running through our houses. You understand? We get the worst of everything. You understand? Because we are so dependent on our oppressor. We can't get comfortable in this thing. You understand? This is not our land. You understand? We are too trusting of a people. Go ahead. That we may eat the good things of the land.
That we may eat good, and that ye may be strong and eat the good things of the land.
Go ahead.
And that ye may leave the inheritance of the land unto the children forevermore.
It says, and that ye may leave the inheritance of the land unto your children forevermore. We have nothing to leave our children. You understand? We got welfare, public housing, that's the land. Public housing. You understand? To our children forevermore. You know? We letting our children, we letting our sisters get killed off every day. Hundreds of our children, hundreds of our sisters getting murdered every day. winding up on the back of milk cartons. You know what I mean?
Right.
We are destroyed people. We got to understand that these people are not here for our benefit.
Right.
You understand? They are here to only destroy us. You understand?
Right.
Did you see that? Did you check out that that plea deal they tried to slide through on the Ahmaud Arbery case?
Yeah.
Instead of sending them to state prison, they want to send them to the federal prison, right? They tried to slide a deal through to get them into the federal prison, because federal prison is like a
little bit better.
it's a lot better than federal prison.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, they ain't got to deal with the brothers in the federal prison. You know what I mean? And then 9 times out of 10, sending them in the federal prison, they probably went to a federal prison where they send, you know, road police officers and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Get a better shot at life there. You know what I mean?
Right.
But they tried to slide it through, and Ahmaud Arbery mama and daddy caught it. You know what I mean? And said, nah, they going to state prison. They going where murderers go. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I think, you know, at the end of the day, they gonna find something to get them slid up out of there. You know what I mean? Because why are they gonna do that? Because every beast loveth his like. You understand? Every man loveth his brother. You understand what I'm saying? We gotta understand that all of these people, they love their own people, and they show the love for their own people. So when we gonna start showing the love for our people? When we gonna stand up, and when are we gonna gather ourselves together? You understand what I'm saying? You got that? You got that?
Yeah.
I said, when we gonna gather ourselves together? You know what I mean? When we gonna gather ourselves together? When we gonna come together as real family? You know what I mean?
Right.
When we gonna start coming together and showing our worth? You understand? Because our worth, listen, Christ said the kingdom of heaven is at hand, right?
Right.
Kingdom of heaven is at hand. Right here. Kingdom of heaven is right here.
Right.
You follow these laws, statutes, and commandments in this book, and we good.
We good.
You know what I mean? Hey, with that, we the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. Been bringing this truth since 1969, and what is that truth? That truth is that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives are the true Jews of the Bible. The white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. And with that, I'm trying to glass over to priest officer, not to Zal. Ouch. You got the book with the head priest good? Should say head priest right on the front. And you go right to the back.
We are the Isupk, coming out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are here to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from their head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from their head to marry, tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers chapters 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, 8 through 10. It means tenth in Hebrew is pronounced ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest funds, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you like to give, upcoming holy convocation is Feast of Purim is coming up. Check your schools. Also, we got the Passover, the 53rd annual Passover. February 14th and 15th, Feast of Purim this month. And also Passover coming up in April. Check your schools for further details. Remind every Akim and Akwathium to check on social media such as isupk.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on forth for Isupk event and materials. If a brother wants to become a trooper in school, then he is start wearing Then he is to start wearing black, all black, which includes black boots, shirts, pants, headbands, and scarf. And with that, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. B'nai Israel, Amani Shabbat, Amani, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yom Shabarak Duh.
Yahweh Shem Yom Shabarak Duh.
Yahweh Matah, class dismissed.
Something to follow, had loyalty, every man tried to borrow, felt pain, and a lot of sorrow, got betrayed, so packed, I didn't even have my heart broke, living confused, about to lose hope, cops got me on the side of the road, like a sideshow, need an antidote before I croak, now I'm setting fire, the rhythm man blues, all this guitar smoke, rebel with no cause, trying to find direction, the world got me vexed. Picked up a bad liquor habit that's already turned from oppression. Felt like my life was on fire, trying to find the exit. Now look, 10 G's plus a good break. Sometimes a follower is a soldier, trying to find a good ship. Plus when you in hell, how do you excel? With them the breath of life, unbelievable fairy tale.